that. And about Amy spent time with Grace, and they talk about the horse. They talk about the horse. Grace had a nice horse, and she knew the place to ride a horse. Amy don't have a horse, but she said, "I have an elm tree. Elm tree is the tree that have a saddle." And Grace thought he is a very good horse. And after they spend the time with each other, they play together. And at the evening, they came back, and Fred sang a song, and Meg left it. So Fred's feeling was very bad. And when they are and after they arrived, Grace said, Kate said, "US people is very unique, but when become a friend, it is very. I think they are a good friend." Then Brooke said, I agree. All of her is saying. There are 13 castles in the air. Castles in the air. Lori don't want to leave this day again, because Lori spent getting today. The day was too hot, and Lori was sleeping and about his dream. He was traveling all around. He was traveling all around the world, and he fell into the sea. And she woke up, and she saw that the sisters go out with something unique things. And Lori thought that they're going to the boat. So Lori said himself, "It is very bad not to stay with me even they're going to the picnic, and they don't have a key, so I will wait at the boat." But Lori waited to the boat, but the sister didn't come. So Lori found the sisters and followed them, and she saw that they're going to the hill, and they were laughing and talking and do their things. And Lori wanted to go there, but Lori can't because Lori didn't invite. But Lori didn't want to go to the house. Also, and Bess saw him, and she said, "Come in." And so come. Mega's face was bad that he came to here. But Joe said, we didn't talk to you because I think you don't like this picnic." And then Lori said, "Did you see that I don't do your things? I like all the things that you're playing with you, playing with you." And Lori asked to them, "Can I know when did you start this good thing?" And Joe said to Lori, "My mother wanted us to spend the most of times to outdoors, so we got our work and do here. She said. And they also their castles is been of the dream. About the Mega's castle, she wanted to have the fancy house and the funny people. Then Lori asked to him, "In your castle there is no man owner." Then Mega said, "No, didn't you heard that I said the funny people?" Then Joe said, "Why don't you have the man owner? There is good that you have the fancy things and the man owner." That Mega got angry about it, and she said to Joe, "And you are okay that you have the horse and the pen and the ink?" the book. Then Joe said, yes, I am. It is enough that I only have the Arabian horse and the book and the paper to write some things and the pen and the ink. That is enough for me. And Lori asked the Bess, what is your castle? Then Bess said, left at the past my castle my castle was to have a piano, but from now on I have a piano, so I don't piano, so I it is enough. My only dream is happy with father and mother. And about Amy Castles became a great painter and go to the opera. And about Lori's Castles, yes, she became a musician and she enjoyed the music what he liked, and she became free. And Meg said to Lori, you have to follow the brook scene. Then Lori asked to her, how can you know that? Then note that. And then Meg said, when I saw Brooke's face was bad. That it means that you don't follow his saying, but Brooke's face was good. It means that you are following his saying very good. And Meg said, it is very funny that I didn't know that you explained the signal. That Meg was surprised and he said he apologized to Lori, and she said, no, I didn't exchange any of the signal. I just mean to advise you. I'm so sorry. Then Lori said, the people who had to apologize is me. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And Lori worked so diligently, so he proved that he had diligently, so Lori proved that he can in this group. And Hannah called them, and so they go to the house. And at the home, Lori said himself, I will forget the castle thing. I will stay with grandfather because grandfather only have me after 14 secrets. Jo did her best to writing, and she said, I'm done. It is my best. And she go outside, and she go to the city, and she go to the public company. And there was Lori, and also that building there was a dental clinic. So Lori deceived himself that she is going to the dental clinic, and Lori said himself she is very brave that come here like this place alone, but her body is too weak. I will help her. Then Joe came out from the building. The Lori said, why are you here? How many teeth did you pull out? And Joe didn't understand what he was saying. And he saw the dental clinic, and he noticed that Lori is deceived himself. So Joe left, and Lori also noticed that she had something. And Joe asked to Lori, then why are you here? Did you play the game? Then Lori said, no, I was in the gym. I was learning the fencing. Then Joe said, it sounds very good. Then Lori said, why? Then Joe said, because we can make a nice scene of the Hamlet with fencing. Then Lori said, I will teach you the Hamlet, not only fencing, not only the Hamlet. It is very good for health. And they talk about the game. Then Joe said, if you play the game more, my mother will ban us to play with you. And then Lori said, then your thing is that I can't use the only of the rest. Then Joe said, rest is good, but your rest is very bad. And they talk and they also exchanged their secret. Joe's secret was that she gave her writing to the publishing company. So Lori said, hooray for the U.S. woman writer, the Joe March. And about the Lori's secret is Lori said, I know where is the glove, Mega's glove. And she heard and she said to Joe, and Joe's face seemed terrible, and she said, and Lori asked to her, aren't you happy? And Joe said, no, it sounds very bad. I will say it to Meg. Then Lori said, no, you want to do that. I believe you. And promised. And Joe said, I didn't promise that I want to tell the secret. Then Lori noticed it is very bad. So he suggests to he says he suggests he suggested to run to the tree, and they run together, and Mega saw them, and Mega thought that they are so childish, and Mega thought also she wanted to run with them. And Joe's face was so steady. Joe's face that she had a secret. And Meg also noticed about Joe had a secret, but Meg didn't ask to Joe because she knew that Joe will tell her, but Joe didn't tell. So Meg got angry that Joe didn't tell her secret. And later, Joe got a newspaper. And she read the novel. Novel in the newspaper to the sisters and the mother, and they say it is very good novel. And Bess asked to Joe who is the writer. Then Joe said, your sister. Then everybody was surprised. Joe, you wrote this novel. And they saw the writer name in the newspaper, so they believe the writer is Joe. Then everybody's reaction is they knew that Joe will do like that, and Joe was so happy that she felt she did something for herself, and Joe cried because of she was so happy. Chapter 15, Telegram. They were saying about the November is the worst month in the year, but only the best. If the funny incident happened in the November, then we will regard the November is the good month. And Lori came to the sister and she asked to Mrs. March there's something that he can do, but Mrs. March said no. But you can you know where the letters? My husband is your diligent person, but he didn't send the letters to me. And Hannah said that letter came. And when they opened the letters, the content is her husband is very ill, come quickly. So everybody was shocked and Mrs. March fell down and her face was so pale and they cried and cried. But and Hannah said to Mrs. March, we don't have time to cry. The God will keep your husband. So Mrs. March said, your seeing is right. Let's prepare to go to the hospital. So they borrowed 2 bottles of the wines from Mr. Lawrence, and she ordered to Lorraine to go to. Mrs. Merge gave the letter to Lorraine that she can't go to the meeting tonight, and she ordered Joe to buy some things in the market because there was many things that don't have in the hospital market, and also she borrowed monies from Aunt March. And she got Mrs. March gave the money and the letter. The content of the letter is I know that there the like this accident will happen. Mrs. March burned the letters and she got the money, and Mega help to pack the Mrs. March things. Mrs. March things, but Joe didn't come to the house, so everybody wondered that Joe where is, and Joe came to the house, and Joe gave the money to Mrs. March, and the amount was so large, so Mrs. March was surprised that how can Joe earn like this money? So Mrs. March said, how can you earn this money? I wish you didn't do bad things. Then Joe said, I didn't do bad things, I just sell my things. And she put off her hats, and her hair was so short, so everybody was shocked. And she said, Joe, where is your hair? And then Joe said, I sold my hair, and she told the story. She was walking the street and she thought she wanted to do something for her father, and she saw the haircut shop, and she saw the advertisement that buy the woman's hair. So she went to the haircut shop. First, the owner said, I don't want to buy your hair, and she gave a lot of the reason about the color and the length like this, but his wife said, let's buy her hair. I will also sell my hair for Jimmy. So the Amy asked Joe, who is Jimmy, and she said, I think it is the son of the owner. Then Mrs. March was so thankful to Joe, she said to Joe, are you okay? Then Joe said, I'm okay. And they sang a song, but they are so sad, but they couldn't sing very well. And they went to the bed because they had to wake up early tomorrow. And they couldn't sleep because she worried about the father, and she heard about Joe's crying. So Meg asked Joe, why are you crying? You cry because of the father? Then Joe said, no, I cry because of my hair. And she said, I will sell my hair when like this situation happened again, but I cry because of my selfishness. And Meg knew Joe's feeling, so Meg comforted her, and they talked the funny things, and they slept together. And at that night, there was someone that kissed the sisters, and then the right the place the pillow and it was Mrs. March, and at the last the writer said, cheer up, there is light behind the clouds. Chapter 16, Letters. The sister was reading the book that they got the the presents in the Christmas, and Mrs. March looked so pale, and before Mrs. March she said to the sister, Mr. Lawrence promised that he will protect you, and Meg do behave like a first, and Joe don't do the bad things, and the best do when you did like past, and Amy follow the sister's thing, and God will keep you, and I pray you also to goodbye. And she go, and Brooke helped her so much, so they nicknamed the Brooke the Great Hot, and and Mrs. March said to Brooke, it is very thank that many people helped to us so much. And after the Mrs. March come, the sister felt they felt there is no person to help them, and they wanted to cry. At that moment, Hannah saved them with the coffee, and they divided the coffee and said to the sister, don't you forget the madam's thing, let's work diligently. And let's work diligently. So they drank the coffee and they feel good again. And Meg went to the king's, and Joe went to the anti-merchant house, and they behaved so well, and they wrote the letters to the Mrs. March. Let's see the letters of theirs. The first letter is the Mega's letter. The content that is I regarded the first, and Hannah called me the Mrs. Margaret, and everybody doing well, and everybody missed you, and it is very good that father is getting well. It is very clean and it smells good, but the Joe's letter is so dirty with the ink, and Joe continues say hooray 3 times for the father. 3 times for the father. Michael is like the first and best is also doing that, and Amy also following the Michael and me very well, but I am saying we all the missed you, and about the best saying is I'm doing very well, and I miss you, and Amy insists that she wanted to letter too. So I finished the letter, and I will finish the letter. I will finish the letter and about the I finished the letter and about Amy's letter. Amy's letter is that she is following the sisters very well, and she said about her spelling. And the next is the Hannah's letter. Hannah letter is the Megu is doing very well. She will became a good person, but Joe is very funny. And Bess is became the great power to me. She is doing very good. And about Amy also following the sisters very well. And at the last, it's very good that Mr. March getting very well. I will pray about Mr. March and about Teddy. And there is no problem in the March house. I will write the letter again. At the last, Mr. Lawrence letter is very good that Mr. Lawrence getting very well. And if you need the money, tell me and use the money you think that my money is yours, my money is yours. Your true servant, James Lawrence. Chapter 7, chapter 17. A little faithful. They became lazy. Their motto is they have the hope and live busy, but they became too easy to follow the mottos. But the Meg spent lots of time to write the letters. And about the Joe got a better cold. The Mr. Antimarch hated the sound of the better cold. So Joe had to stay in the house, and Joe read the book again. And Amy decided that it's very hard to do the work and the art together, so she became to do art again. But only the best is living very busy, and she also did the sister didn't do. And there is a problem. Everybody found the best, and best helped them, and they didn't know that best cried a lots of time because of the missing the Mrs. March. And the one day there was no Amy, and Hannah was sleeping, and there is a Joe and Meg and Bess. And Bess said, we have to go to the hummus because mother said before she go, we have to check the hummus, but I have a headache. I think I couldn't go. Who can you go? Then and Becca said, I have to write this letter. Again. I can't go. And Joe said, I can go too because I have a bad cold. Then Beth asked to her, you played the lorry, so you became better. Not it isn't right that Joe said, I became good to play the lorry, but I can't go to the windmills. And they decided to send the Amy, so they said to Beth, get little rest get a little rest. So Beth slept, but Amy didn't come to the house. So Beth went to the windows, and they forgot about Beth going about the windows. And when Joe go to the second floor, and she saw Beth look very ill, and she was so surprised. So she said, Christopher Columbus, and she said to Beth, what happened? What happened? That then Beth said, you got the scarlet fever with Megger. You did you then Joe said, yes, I got a scarlet fever with Megger last. Why are you asking that? Then Beth said, and I will tell you, the baby was dead in my chest. We called the doctor. The doctor when the doctor came, the baby was dead. And the doctor said it is a scarlet fever, so if you don't eat the belladonna at the home, you will also get a scarlet fever.